City lights, they fade away. Je me perds dans un doux rêve. Le temps s'arrête aujourd'hui. Sous les étoiles, Paris nous sème. Sable chaud sous nos pieds.
In a previous video, I mentioned my lifelong dealings with depression and how Thailand made me happy. I've come to realize that this is a gross oversimplification and an unfair statement to those who suffer from mental illness or depression. I don't want to give the impression that if you simply go somewhere, you all of a sudden become a happier person. Indeed, I kind of just bring my problems with me regardless of where I go. People tend to call their time in Thailand a journey of self-discovery or a cultural journey or any other concepts you want to lop onto the word journey. And quite honestly, the only thing that I personally find truthful about any of it is that it indeed is a journey, a literal journey, a long-ass, fatigue-inducing, airplane food ingesting journey. But I've spent too much of my life, despite how lucky I've been to travel, staring out the window of a confined room. I spent too many hours digesting and swiping social media apps looking for connection or acceptance and approval, or worse yet, validation, to have flown all the way around the world with no real plan of employment, no real prospects for happiness, and too many severed connections to waste time sitting in a rented apartment room, staring out the window of a city that I've grown to be quite fond of, but have no real attachment to. I've spent too many years wishing for the best, achieving the worst, and dawdling in the murk of aimless pursuits to let any old black dog get me now. Too many years being proud of nothing much and scared of change. Being in Thailand fixes none of that. And no matter what the travel vlogs say, no matter how inspirational, it won't change you. If you're spending your days dreaming of a different life with your eyes glued to a TV or online, or with your nose in a book thinking that it'll be any different once you reach your destination, it won't be. There's TV and internet and books in Thailand too, my friend. What I should have said is that Thailand allows me a place where I can pursue happiness and to be out of place while not feeling persecuted for it. I've never felt welcome in my home country of America. I'm proud of being American. I love America, but I've never really felt welcome. Perhaps growing up Asian in the Deep South, being socially awkward and having an eccentric personality contributed to this, so the only person that I can blame is myself. But Bangkok is a city that, if not necessarily glorifying or accepting eccentric people, is a city largely indifferent to the misfit, and certainly not hostile to the misfit. In the States, I just grew tired of wondering whenever I'm in a public place if I was going to get shot, and I really mean that. And no, this isn't some far-right contrived urban fear. The suburbs are more dangerous than the cities anyway, statistically. I'm talking about how unsafe you can feel. I mean, in a suburban area, I'm tired of people overreacting to every driving situation. Getting cut off by another car can lead to a fatally hostile reaction. Americans have lost the ability to tolerate, to let go. They don't do maipenrai. You know, it's the little things for me. The expense, the cold, hell, the coldness of the neighbors to each other, the hostility from some neighbors to each other, the lack of social courteousness to each other. I mean, when you're in a country where masking up is seen as an infringement on your rights rather than just a decent thing to do, it takes its toll on my psyche. Now, I don't want to romanticize Thailand as some utopia. It isn't. Despite a greater acceptance of the trans community, indeed, trans people are largely integrated into the greater community. LGBT rights have just only recently been officially recognized. Mothers still prefer their sons to their daughters, and mental health is largely ignored or seen as an aberration or uncomfortable topic of discussion. I once had a well-meaning Thai friend, a close friend at the time, tell me that the best thing to do with my depression was to just try and be happy. To him and all my Thai friends, this seemed like the logical solution. And just like no woman ever calmed down from being told to calm down, no one suffering from mental illness just perks up from being given good advice. The old black dog may follow you around, but it will traverse oceans with no need for a passport. I guess I'm here not because it makes me happy, but because it makes me feel safer. And indeed, if I ascend Maslow's hierarchy of needs once safety is met, I can obtain happiness as a result. Who knows? I want to inspire people to travel. I want to encourage you to go out there and meet people from outside your comfort zone. Or just go see some place that's new, even if it's a town within driving distance you've been curious about. But I don't want you thinking it's a miraculous experience, a life-changing one. It's simply not. Depending on who you are, it might even be a traumatic undertaking. Hell, there are days that going shopping is taking its toll on my mental health. But if you're dreaming of a better place, a trek to some far-off land, first examine why you want to escape. Is it where you're going to or what you're running from? I will try not to romanticize the places that I see and perhaps include more practical information for you. For some people, it's not the inspiration to travel, it's getting over the fear of the unknown and not even knowing the basics of how to get where they want to go. I have friends who don't know how to get a passport per se. Whether the trip is magical or not is up to you. For me, I seldom experience magical things, just fruits of hard work, putting my head down, and taking the steps necessary to move to the, next step. My next step is to build a life for myself here. Either way, I'll keep recording these videos to my journey. I put journey in quotes here, people.
C'est du